What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are prepping for Fuel Fest. You guys saw the clutch video. You guys saw the Trailblazer video. And now it's time for a little intake mod video. So, as you guys know, my Stansco intakes, the carbon fiber tube, replaces the factory CTS-V intake tube. Let me show you what we're working with. So on the CTS-V, the best intake option is to keep your factory airbox, put a good panel filter in it, like a K&N, I forget the one. I have a red one in the black car. I think green filter might make one too. Either way, put a good panel filter in it, and then get yourself a nice 3.5 inch tube. And there you go. It's the best flowing. It pulls air from outside because these engine bays get so heat soaked that people have actually dynoed their K&N intake cars. And once your IATs start getting up there, you start losing power. So when you're pulling air from this corner and beyond, you know, they lose all that ducting. The K&N kit, I remember I had one on my black car. These cars have a factory duct that comes in next to the radiator. The K&N kit, the heat shield was inside of that duct. So they just blocked off that whole inlet from behind the grill. It literally is direct from behind the grill. So I was able to find a factory airbox for this car, just like how my black car has. I put my tube on it, but when I purchased it, I didn't realize that the person didn't have the main duct that goes from the front of the box and then comes out to behind the grill. So we're gonna rig up a little box because I noticed at LS Fest East, another thing I noticed kind of after the fact, it was like, my IATs were super high on the car. And the car kind of felt down on power, which makes sense. So it's because I was pulling in hot engine bay heat soaked air through the main part of the airbox. You know, it has the side portion, I think, over there. Does it still have that? I don't know. Either way. No, actually, I think this is the only way. So it was just pulling from like a dead space back here. So not ideal. Even though I had my intake tube on, it was flowing good. It was flowing some real hot air. So what I'm gonna do is pull this out first. So we'll pop this off the throttle body. We'll pop this MAF off the airbox. Voila, I already loosened them up. And then let me loosen these two bolts and I'll show you kind of what I'm working with here on the airbox side of things. All right, so here is our factory airbox. We got a little K&N in there that probably needs a cleaning, but this is that main opening that I was talking about. Now, this opening is pretty large, but what I was thinking about doing, because the factory one kind of pinches down into like an oval and then comes back behind the grill here, I was thinking about taking this piece of sheet metal here, just, you know, cutting a circle out of it like so, and then taking, that'll kind of seal it off. We'll put a little gasket around here. We'll make it nice. We'll just run some like self-tappers into the plastic. And then we're gonna take some ducting here. This is the part where I say it gets a little rigged up. But we got 3.5 inch tubing here. This will pop into the airbox, just one ring into the airbox there. We'll cut another hole inside of the sheet metal. That'll go in right there. And then we will ovalize it, pinch it down, just like how the factory does. We'll go in between the radiator and the support there for the rat support, like down support. And then we will drop it right there like it does from the factory. Now the factory one angles up, probably for like water. We're just gonna keep this guy straightforward. It should be fine. So we got a lot of ducting here to work with. I was trying to consider going from like the brake duct that is below the fog light and trying to figure out a way to have it come up here. If I didn't have my ECU there, that probably would have been doable, but our ECU is still in the factory position, so that didn't work. But otherwise, that will give us basically a outside source of air for the intake. It is 3.5 inch, so we're not pinching down anywhere. We'll have this should move plenty of air for us, and we should be good. So now we just gotta figure out diameter of this hole, trace it out on there. We'll just use 10 snips, cut it out, and then I gotta figure out we'll draw a 3.5 inch hole in there, And then we will cut a 3.5 inch hole out in there. All right, so this is not, it's actually kind of an oval. So we're gonna go with a rectangular piece. Ooh, but I need to chop this edge, round this edge off in order to spin it around and fit up there. So let me chop this edge and see what we got. Good enough. That'll do. I am gonna do some rubber on the backside of it anyway, so we'll fill that up with some rubber. Although, hold on, let me see. Will I? So we won't cover this way. All right. There's a rough project here, folks. So I'm gonna trim this here, and then we're gonna run some self-tappers. Well, I'm gonna trace a 3.5 inch hole on here first, and then we're gonna run the self-tappers in. So I had some of this rubber seal with a double-sided backing left over from something I was actually doing on the house. So I am just going to place it around the edge. I might need to get another piece too. Yeah, we're just a little short. So let me cut a piece off of another one of the scraps. All right, now we got our piece. We got self-tappers. Now I cut it down the middle so I can cut it with the shears. Just trust me on that one. All right, it is very crudely attached, to say the least. This is actually 4 inches too. I was saying 3.5, but our hose here is actually 4 inches. So we'll just pop in like 1 or 2 rings. We'll just go 1 ring. Spin it around, should be good. Now we just gotta cut this thing. Kind of guesstimate the length. Let's say probably about right here. So let me, okay. So here's our airbox with our elephant tusk here. Flopping around, but it's sealed. This is a sealed professional airbox with spider webs included. Let's try and shake those out before we toss this in. And the goal is to ovalize it and get it down in between the rad down there. So move our MAF wiring out of the way here. And I'm just gonna try and rest this while I finagle this in where it has to be. There we go. Okay. All right, we are where we need to be. Whew. Okay, so let's assess here. So we have factory airbox. We have a little bit of ducting down there, and then it is sealed off now from the engine bay air. And then that is where we're at right now. Right next to the rad, I still have plenty of slack that if I want, when I pull the bumper off, I can pull that more forward, but we're only a couple inches. Our inlet is in front of the condenser, so we are pretty much pulling now from behind the grill. And that will help reduce our hot air. I'm gonna put some gold tape here in between the radiator and this, but they are not touching. There's a very small gap. But yeah, that is gonna help our IATs, I believe, drastically. We also still have a spot that pulls air from down here. That is just the factory configuration, but get this thing wedged back in and lined back up where it needs to be. And then I think we got ourselves a fixed intake for the race car. Like I said, not the prettiest thing. You ever gonna see it? You ever gonna see my self-tappers hiding down there? No, you're not. It's functional, it'll do the job, and hopefully keep the IATs down. Now we are entering a cooler season. We will be in Atlanta in 2 weeks, which I'm sure it'll be still warm out that day, but by the time we're at Haunted moves, It's going to be cool up in New Jersey, but this will help mainly down here next summer and all the events we do down here this winter. So that's it. That's all I got for you. It was quick, it was ghetto, but I had to get it done. I had to get something to prevent the heat-soaked air from getting into the intake on this thing, and that was my solution. That was my cheap, effective solution. So, like I said, not the prettiest thing, but it does the job. So, I'm hoping that our next video will be Fuel Fest. And if you guys are coming, if you're in the Atlanta area, head to Fuel Fest, October 19th. We will be in the X-Comp Tires booth and we will be out drifting all day long. So come and check us out. Come say what's up. If you're a V1 guy, come check out the catalog. So looking forward to seeing some of you guys out there. And yeah, I'm excited for what the next month has to offer as far as driving and just going out and having fun again. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video and I'll see you in the next one.